here today on behalf of Ms. Sylvan approaching from my help, man, please state your name.
Jasmine.
Judge, you're here again today for a show cause related specifically, I believe, to the program. Allegedly has everything done.
Yeah.
Not work program.
Community service.
It's got proof of it right here.
All right. Yeah, let me have it. Yeah. Are you on a payment plan? For the money? So for the money you owe us, are you on a payment plan?
I just spoke to a lady, she said the other day, just leave service, the money is not what you need to pay.
No. That don't mean you don't owe us any money. That means today's thing was about the community service. Right. So my question is, you don't have a payment plan? Okay. So while I'm looking at this, what's your plan to take care of the $685? And this is no good at all. You were told it's got to be on letterhead so we can confirm it.
When I told her about the letter.
I don't care what you were told on that. I'm just telling you, it's got to be on. I don't care. I don't care. I don't know how else I can say I don't care. We can't confirm that that's real. Your sister on her word processor could have put that together. We can't confirm that. That's why we tell people it's got to be on the letterhead, the official letterhead from the charitable organization. That has their name, their phone number, their address. We can put them in a computer. We can check to see it's a legitimate charity. We can see that they're in good standing with the state of Michigan. We can do our due diligence. We can't do anything with that. Okay. Did you know you owed $685? You were sentenced on both those files. At some point, one of the judges in the black robe told you how much you owed. Well, no, one was $240 and one was $445.
Working on that except as soon as possible.
How much?
I feel like. What, as today?
No, you said you can do a payment plan. I'm asking you how much. What's your plan? What's your payment plan? What do you want to do? How much? How often? When can you start? Listen to me. How much? How often? When can you start?
I can pay the fee, but I can start off with like $50.
How much? 50. How often? When will you start? 3 questions to answer.
2 weeks and then I can start like in the next week. That's nothing.
Can you read the calendar? Okay, so this week is the 30th, right? No. 23rd. So pick a Friday. Next week is the 30th. Following week is the 6th. When you want your first one?
The week of just the 6th of February.
That's not in the next 2 weeks. That's a month. Where did you do your charity work?
Church off in Omega, Holy Baptist Church, but then they also have the all 4 season program that needs like the homeless and gives like. Okay, so go back to them and say the judge needs official letterhead. I don't care if it's from the Four Seasons place or the church, but something. Both of them, I'm sure the church is a nonprofit and Four Seasons probably will be too. So how much time do you need to get new paperwork? I would say about the same time.
No, I'm not giving you a month to find out we still got a problem. Okay, well, what prevents you from going there in the next 2 days and emailing it to her? Okay, where are you working at?
$11.
Where are you working at? What is it?
Chicken is like a facility, nursing facility.
Where are they at? No, just city-wise. I don't care the address. Where are they? Now I do want to know where they're at because I never heard of them. Is it like a group home? Oh, okay. That's all right. That's all right. All right. So Park Village is not a good address anymore? Good mailer? Okay. All right. Well, it sounded like you're almost homeless. So is that they're getting ready to evict you?
The 24th.
I'm paying to pay the.
Okay. So you're behind on your rent. All right, so go downstairs, talk to Mr. Taylor, tell him you have housing issues, and he'll give you a name for somebody right next door at Wayne Metro that might be able to help you. I'm not making any guarantees, but he'll give you a good contact name and number. All right. Have you been to court on that case?
Yes.
Do you have a judgment against you? All right. Because some of the programs, they need to see the judgment because that puts you up at the top of the list.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Make sure you get Ms. Trolley's email address when you walk out of here. All right. So call the church, tell them what you need, and have them email it to you and her so you know that it was sent to her. All right. Then you can send her an email and say, did you get that? Is the judge satisfied with it? And we might be able to avoid you coming back.
I'm sorry about that as well.
Listen, I understand you're up against it. I think one of the most common problems I see here with people that are getting in trouble is a lot of people have a hard time prioritizing, right? When they got a bunch of stuff coming at them all at once, sometimes nothing gets any attention because they're overwhelmed, right? I think one of the most important adulting skills we learn is how to triage and understand what has to be taken care of first. Okay. And I'm not going to suggest to you that this case is it, but it might be just because I'm probably the only problem you've got that can put you in jail. I'm not suggesting I'm going to, but I'm just saying court stuff should be pretty high at your list of priorities, because if the court puts you in jail, then everything else crumbles because you can't work, you can't pay your rent, you can't, all those other things that are pressuring for, need attention from you. That didn't sound very encouraging, but I'm trying to encourage you. I understand you got a lot going on. Sometimes you just got to take a deep breath. And sometimes it helps if you talk to somebody about everything that's going on, because they can help you, because they can stand back where you can't. They can stand back objectively and help you prioritize. If you don't have those people in your life, cultivate them. And that's the other thing. How many do you have anybody that you shared all your pressures with? Well, if you're not sharing it with your therapist, you're not getting your money's worth out of your therapist. Your therapist should know every one of the hot button items you're dealing with, because they're a perfect person to help you prioritize. Right? So one last thing, I'll let you go. When you find yourself in a hole, the first thing you have to do? Well, that's a good thing. Put your shovel down. Don't dig. Okay. And I think that's what happens with a lot of people. They're in a hole because they're overwhelmed. And in essence, they keep digging because they're not taking care of anything because they're just overwhelmed. So yeah, I'm a prayer. So I encourage you to do that. You got a pastor? Sweetheart, sit down with your pastor or somebody else at the church and say, I'm having trouble doing life, because that's what's going on right now. And everybody you talk to, well, I'm assuming your pastor's older and wiser than you are, right? So sit down with the pastor. Man, I'll tell you what, I would love it if my pastor called me and said, look, I got a young guy that's having trouble doing life. You need to meet with him on a regular basis. Somebody in your church would love to pour into you by sitting down with you on a regular basis and just say, honey, let me help you do life. Will you ask for help? Do it then. Court order. Court order. You're going to ask for help before Monday. Why'd I give you until Monday? No, because you're going to go to church Sunday. You got till Monday to ask for help. All right. And I will say this, I'd rather you meet with your pastor, but sweetheart, I love to tell people how to live. You come back, if you can't find anybody else, you come back to me and I'll tell you what to do. Deal? Okay, good luck. And I'm not going to put you in jail. All right. Who are these folks? What do they got?
Fortunately, they were the ones that kind of came to volunteer early, and then I took to go to Lockett's, they kind of were. Yeah,
So are they ready to come up?
One of those courtroom moments that doesn't explode with chaos, but instead slowly exposes a deeper, more troubling reality. This is not a case about a single mistake. It's about a pattern, a crossroads, and a judge trying to reach someone before time runs out. The defendant appears before the court on a show cause hearing tied to unpaid fines and missed work program days. On paper, it looks routine, but as the judge begins asking questions, it becomes clear that the real issue isn't compliance, it's direction. Transportation problems are raised first. The defendant explains that getting to the work program costs too much because he doesn't have a valid driver's license. That immediately opens the door to a larger discussion. Why is the license suspended? Unpaid tickets. Why are there unpaid tickets? Because of repeated stops while driving illegally. And that's when the judge stops looking at the file and starts looking at the person. The defendant is 29 years old, no serious felony record, capable of working, intelligent enough to articulate his situation, but job after job has slipped through his fingers, none lasting long enough to build stability, none forming the foundation of a future. Then comes the moment that shifts everything. The judge asks about the defendant's child. A daughter, Ava, 7 years old. The courtroom energy changes instantly. The judge doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't threaten jail. Instead, he speaks as a father. He explains what it means to want more for your child than you currently have. He acknowledges the dreams every parent carries: a safe home, stability, opportunity, and then asks the hardest question of all. Are you on a path that actually leads there? Silence follows. The judge walks through the defendant's recent work history, pointing out the instability, the short timelines, the lack of momentum. Not to shame him, but to confront him with facts. The current plan isn't working. Not for the court, not for employment, and certainly not for Ava. The defendant mentions wanting to pursue nursing, a respectable goal, a meaningful career. The judge latches onto that immediately, not dismissing it, but testing it. What's stopping you? Transportation, money, license issues. And suddenly, everything circles back to the same unresolved core problem. The suspended license isn't just a legal issue. It's the anchor dragging everything else down. The judge makes something very clear. If you're going to drive illegally, you cannot drive poorly. Nearly every suspended license case, he explains, comes from bad driving, speeding, equipment violations, avoidable stops. Not because officers magically know someone's license status, but because poor decisions invite attention. It's a hard truth, but a necessary one. Then comes one of the most human moments of the entire docket. The judge admits he's trying, genuinely trying, to find a way to help. Not because the defendant deserves a break by default, but because the consequences of failure will ripple outward, landing on a child who has no control over any of this. Instead of punishment, the judge offers something rare: a plan. He instructs the defendant to go to the Secretary of State and get a complete printout of everything required to restore his license. Every fine, every step, every barrier. Bring it back to court. No guessing, no excuses, just information. With that information, the judge offers to do something most defendants never expect: reach out to other courts, coordinate, and see if a broader solution is possible. Not guaranteed, not promised, but attempted. That matters. The judge explains that life cannot be built in fragments. 3 months here, 2 months there, constant resets. Careers are built by staying. Stability is built by consistency. Dreams don't come true by accident. And then, the final emotional anchor, Ava. The judge reminds the defendant that his daughter is watching, even if she doesn't know it yet. Every decision made now becomes part of the story she'll one day understand. The court isn't asking for perfection, it's asking for direction. This case ends without jail, without shouting, without drama. But make no mistake, it's one of the heaviest hearings of the day. Because this wasn't about fines or paperwork. It was about time. About whether a man in his late 20s chooses to keep drifting or finally plants his feet and builds something solid. The court didn't close the door, but it made one thing unmistakably clear. The next steps matter. And for Ava's sake, they need to be the right ones.